Hello AOS fans, Robin here, and I'm back once more with a deck review for you. Yes, this week Pete and I are embarking on our little plan to play 5 mystery teams each over the coming weeks and turn up with an exciting mystery warband to play one another, and we don't know what the other one's going to bring. So this is the first week. I've got a list of 5, and the first one I've chosen from that list is the Orruks. So I'm going to play the Orruks this week. I haven't played the Orruks for a long time. I think I've only played them once since NIghtvault came out, and I think I got absolutely hammered by Zarbag's Gits. That can't happen again because the Gits are also on my list. So Pete won't turn up with the Gits, so I do know that much. Now, what am I going to play? Well, I thought about this, and I've seen a few people talk about defensive Orruks, and I thought, well, can I do defensive Orruks? I've never seen a deck. I haven't found a deck. I haven't looked for a deck. I haven't found a deck online to see it, but I've kind of gone on my own flavour of defensive Orruks. Now, this is a little bit of a mean thing to do, maybe. Pete will almost certainly be anticipating an offensive Orruk deck, and of course, in the situation where it's not a best of 3, I have more chance of pulling it off, because I think in the second and third game, I obviously don't have the surprise if it was a best of 3, but this isn't a best of 3, so I'm going to sort of surprise Pete and maybe confound him from the very beginning, which is always, I think, worth a little bit of a couple of glory at least, maybe. So perhaps it's a little bit unfair thing to do, but never mind, I'm going to go on and do it anyway. So that's my defensive Orruk deck. I haven't built very many defensive decks in my time in the Mirrored City. I don't know why, because I don't like them. I like to move about a lot, and defensive decks tend to be a bit static, so I haven't played them, and I'm not quite sure how to do them. I still haven't really included things like perfect planning, and the one where they're all have to be grouped together to score the objectives. I'm just not a fan of those cards. I think I've struggled to play them, so I've not put them in. So anyway, here we go. Here's my deck, starting with the objectives. I've got 2 Dumb to Die. Score this immediately if a friendly fighter suffers 3 or more damage in a single attack and is not taken out of action. It's a score immediately card. I do like my score immediately cards, so that is one of the reasons why that made the cut. And I kind of feel like maybe the Orruks, can take that sort of damage, especially if they've got some of the bigger Great Fortitude type cards on them. They're more and more likely to survive, suffer 3 or more damage and survive. So that's why 2 Dumb to Die is there. Blooded. I am playing Shargale, hence playing Blooded makes a lot of sense. Change of tactics. Again, change of tactics is a fairly easily scored score immediately card, hence its inclusion. Chosen champion, and if you're playing defensive, you're bound to get some upgrades on some people, some defensive type upgrades. So that's why that is in there. And Escalation is the same as usual. Escalation, my favourite card, your favourite card, everybody's favourite card is in there. Skirting Danger. Well, if you're going to play Extreme Flank with the Orruks, you might as well play Skirting Danger as well. Double up. I know it's a little bit more tricky to score in some ways, but yes, in fact, kind of curious. I think that's probably more difficult to score, and it's worth 1, whereas Extreme Flank is worth 2. Just shows how nuts the Extreme Flank scoring is. And then Superior Tactician. Again, I think this is a massively used card in the game, and that's why I've got it in here. Try and maximise those objective scores and then pick up the glory at the end. Supremacy. Pete won't be expecting Orruk Supremacy, but if he remembers back in the day when there weren't so many cards, I did nearly always play it with my Orruks. Hard to have Supremacy. I like it. Catch your opponent by surprise, at least at the beginning anyway. Shining Examples in here because I'm almost certainly going to inspire Gerzag. I've got Shargale. I'll be trying to inspire him as quickly as I possibly can. Well Guarded. Interesting choice, Well Guarded. I'm not 100% sure how easy it is for me to score, but I've put it in here. I'm going to be trying keeping Gerzag located next to a couple of others at the back of the thing. At the back of the board. I mean, it's going to be tricky. I've got Extreme Flank as well, and obviously those two things don't necessarily go well hand in hand. Neither does Supremacy with only 4 models, but we'll have to see how it goes. Finally, What Armor. Now, What Armor is really in here to beef up the score immediately cards situations so that I can help score Superior Tactician. I'm not sure this is the best one because I've gone for defensive ploys and upgrades. There's not much opportunity to get Cleave. Obviously, Hacker does have Cleave. So let's see how that goes. What Armor? That's probably a mistake, but we'll see. My Gambits, I've gone through 22 power cards today. So my Gambits, I'm playing Distraction. Again, because it's good for moving people away. If Pete does turn up with Mollog, which is a possibility, then that's good to have in there. Or anybody really to keep guys away from me. Hidden Paths, Remember, hidden paths is not brilliant for some of the objectives I've got, but it can be useful to get people out of trouble if they're in trouble. Inspiration strikes, because if Shargale doesn't come out, maybe inspiration strikes will for inspiring good. Like invisible walls. I'm going to be trying to stop Pete getting to me, so invisible walls is in there, and it does double up as a good Mollog protector card as well. Ready for action, because even if you are playing defensively, you still want to try and maximise your move and attacks. So ready for action still in the deck. Shargale, I've said a number of times. Sidestep, again, keeping people together, make him get out of the way, put him together for well guarded, all that kind of thing. Similarly, quick advance and inspire command. I can push somebody and put them on guard, who should help me score change of tactics. Ghoulish Pact, which is effectively a slightly worse version of Spoils of Battle, but it does mean that I get apply 1 damage and then I can inspire them. So again, if Shargale for some reason doesn't come out, I've gone for Ghoulish Pact over Spoils of Battle with the hope that it will inspire my one of my Orruks. And I think this is because I may not generate a lot of glory at the beginning of the game, so that's in there in a vague hope. So not get some upgrades out for free, but we'll see. Transfixing Stare. Transfixing Stare is probably a new must include in the Mollog meta, and so that's in there as well. Arded, my upgrades now. Arded. Now again, I wasn't sure about Arded, but this one is quite good. It can bring down the damage done to Hacker or Basher down to a minimum of 1. So I bet down by 1 to a minimum of 1. So it could be useful. I may regret putting that in there. We'll have to wait and see. Dark Darts. Always used to play Shade Glass Darts on my Orruks back in the day. And Dark Darts has got Cleave, so it's another Cleave option with range. Could be very useful. Deathly Fortitude, because Orruks are moving, want to be as wound heavy as possible. Soul Trap, again, because I don't want people to die. And so Soul Trap is in there. I haven't played Soul Trap for quite some time. Trusted Defender, again, increasing defense, rising to the challenge, potentially. An extra wound and an extra dice for attacking could be useful towards the end of the game. We'll have to see. Bag of Tricks, new card. I think I'm not going to necessarily remove it about much, so I might actually get some use out of this, and it could be useful to get things like Sudden Growth or Deathly Fortitude out of there. Champion's Fortitude, rerolling a defense dice could be vital. Faneway Crystal for leaping out of trouble onto objectives for supremacy and things like that. I think that's a must-have card in everybody's deck these days, and we're certainly going to be restricted soon. And Horrifying Armor, I haven't played this one either. Horrifying Armor, I believe, call it Shadespire. I did a quick bit of analysis on this, and I believe it's better than the equivalent, was it Cursed Artifact maybe? +1 defense dice, -1 wound. I mean, it's always a risk. But it's here. I think it's -1 dice to the attack actions. Again, it could be really useful, could be vital against a Mollog deck, or indeed anybody with a relatively low dice count. Horrifying Armor could be crippling, so that's why that's in there. And then finally, Sudden Growth, as I mentioned. So that's my deck. Let me know what you think. What would you include in a defensive Orruk deck? I'm not sure it's perfect, but I think it has potential, and hopefully I can play it cleverly and pinch enough objectives to score enough to defeat Pete. The good thing about Orruks when you do play them defensively is that they can still pack a fair old punch should they need to. So we'll see how it goes until we meet again in the Mirrored City. Farewell and happy Warhammer Underworlding. Bye.